everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another series review. I just recently watched Doctor Who. The episode was The Pyramid at the End of the World. Now, the Doctor, Nardole, and Bill are in Turkmenistan, and there is a mysterious pyramid that has just manifested out of nothing, and of course it wasn't there before, and they make that reference a couple times. It's rather funny. Bill speaks of her time with the Doctor and running into the Pope with her girlfriend, and I thought that was so cute. It was just precious, them having their conversation. And of course, on the surface, if you're watching as a younger viewer, you don't really get that feeling that they're lovers, but as an adult you do, because it's very subtle, but you can tell that there's a lot of chemistry between Bill and her lover, and I love things like this. I absolutely adore it because you don't really get to see a whole lot of that on television, especially shows that are garnered toward a younger age group. And I think it's good. I think it's very progressive televising and programming. I absolutely love this episode. It was a great addendum to Veritas, and they left it on a cliffhanger, and I did cry when Bill was finally given the revolution of the Doctor's issue. And it just, that scene, oh my goodness, I was crying like a baby. Any Moffat episode, it doesn't matter what it is, I will bawl. My lacrimal glands will be incontinent by the end of the day. It was so emotionally fraught, and just another good episode with the monks, and I really want to see what happens next with them, because I'm intrigued, because they say a lot of things that are very, very, very interesting, and it's a very philosophical episode full of meaning. And the monks, they state to everybody, they set the clocks to a doomsday clock, and they have so much time before the Earth comes to an end, and the Doctor is the president of the Earth. Duh. He was given that title. And what he says in a very curt manner and very flippantly when he sees the future through the fiber optics. And I thought that is very intriguing and different and unique, because they are the Watchers. And a lot of text has been written on these Watchers, and Book of Enoch speaks about the Watchers in length, and this is just another version thereof. And I love the lore in Doctor Who. It's just so illustrious. It's so detailed and lush and just incredible, and this was just another episode that proved how extensive and poetic a writer Moffat is. I forget who else the other writer was, but still, it was a sensational episode, and I absolutely loved it. And it was so funny just to see Nardole and the Doctor bantering back and forth like an old married couple, and I love their camaraderie or their back and forth. It's very reminiscent of The Odd Couple, if you've ever watched that, or just they had another foil kind of scenario with the 11th Doctor and the Sontaran, and I'm thinking this is a very similar kind of relationship where they don't agree at all most of the time, but Nardole thinks he has all the right ideas, and the Doctor seems to know what is best, and sometimes he goes about it in a rather rebellious, nonconformist way. He just has a completely different perspective. And what he does in this episode, you think, oh my God, what are you doing, Doctor? Stop! But he does it because he's buying time, and it's a strategy that he has formulated, and he hopes that it'll work. And one scene that I like in particular with the dwarf involved, I thought that was so hilarious. I thought, yeah, she's going to be important later. Guess what? She is, and she works in a laboratory in a hazmat suit, so I'm thinking her expertise is something rather vital and important. And the doctor appears, and Nardole seems to be having some problems with the toxicity. I thought, oh, that part gave me chills. I mean, I literally had goosebumps. And he looks at the dwarf, and he says, I don't care. I'm not going to be PC, okay? But he looks at her, and he says, no, she says, oh my God. And he just answers her, I get that a lot. It's the eyebrows. And she says, who the hell are you? And he says, start explaining everything. I'll let you start from the beginning. And she does. And I really like her character. We don't really get her name, but we know she's important. I'm feeling like this episode's going to be expanded upon too, because I really want to see what becomes of the relationship with the monks and the decision that Bill makes, her ultimate carry through if she did indeed make the agreement like the doctor told her not to do, because she just felt like she was doing what was right and following her basic instincts and becoming a messianic figure in this episode. And I think it's really telling. I don't know. There's a lot of symbolism that I really like in this particular episode, especially with the fiber optics. And of course, he says if you agree to they want to help, but it's on their own. It's with stipulations. It's with underlining clauses that you don't know. It's always with a sort of catch or requirement that is unspoken. There's something that always has to be offered in exchange. It's like an agreement, and you don't know all of the legalese that goes into that, and unless you don't know. It's like buying a pig in a poke. You don't really know what you're getting. My dad always warned me of that. Don't buy a pig in a poke. Always do your research. But Doctor knows this, and Bill, she's just acting on a course of her own love for the doctor and her love for everybody else. She's doing it because she feels that there's no other option, and she comes across as, like I said, a savior. And I thought, how interesting is that? It's just such an excellent episode, and I'm thinking this is one of my favorites since Veritas. And I want to see the conclusion, but guess I'm gonna have to wait until later. I'll probably have to watch the remainder of the episodes for the season until Christmas time. And I've read a little snippet on the Christmas episode, and I'm already geeking out over it. Oh, it's gonna be good. But as far as other things are concerned, of course I got a new phone. See my new phone? Yeah. And that's the photo. Of course, that's Sharu. I love Sharu. I thought that was a nice little lock screen. And of course, she is my wallpaper. Yeah, I am definitely a weeaboo. And proud of it. But I always wanted a wallpaper with she on it anyway, because I grew up with the comic book, and I don't know if they're still in print or not, but Crusade Comics, they came out with that character, and I noticed something really funny. There was a moment in the coroner's office in one of the issues, I forget which issue it was, and the DOA was identified as Ernest Fairchild, and I thought... And being a Chaos fan, I'm huge into Ernie and Lady Death. It was just only Lady Death, Ernie, and Suspira. I never really got into Purgatory or Chastity. I probably would have enjoyed both of them too, but I really, really, really like Lady Death because just to me, she was like she was another badass female who kicked butt and took names. She was a little bit more warrior type, and just absolutely love Anna Ishikawa. She's just so cool. I'm thinking that initially when I wrote one of my scripts, one of my characters probably was inspired by she. But that's all I gotta say. So until next time, live long and prosper. Ciao, tutti.